All right, you guys, welcome back. Behind me is a 2024 Honda Civic Type-R. And as some of you guys probably know, it is, as of now, the fastest front-wheel drive production car around the Nürburgring. But for some of you, that's not enough. You've probably heard it, I've heard it. People want Honda to bring back a Type-R coupe, a Type S coupe, a Type-R. It doesn't matter at this point, we want a coupe, or some people do. And I get it. So to break it all down, to figure out if Honda has taken the right direction with the new FL5, we've enlisted the help of our friend Elliza and her DC5 Type-R. Let's go for a drive. All right, Elliza.
Hi.
We're back.
We are.
It's been a while. Anytime I have a Type-R, I message you, and I know we did like a quick photo session with the TLX Type S.
Yeah.
But as far as Honda products go, that competes with the dual clutch, like enthusiast cars, whereas this is a real driver's car still.
No, absolutely. I mean, this is the kind of car that you can daily, but also take it to the racetrack. You know, you can't say that about every car.
No, the TLX is more of a daily.
Absolutely.
That's a car I would, we'll put windows up. That's a car I would like feel comfortable road tripping. Where's this car? You tell me. So I've been driving it for a few days, and I've driven the Integra Type S, and it has some significant differences. Have you been around an FK8?
I have actually. I've driven one a few times.
Okay.
I've actually gone road tripping in one before.
And did it beat you up?
Not too bad. The one that I drove had a short shifter, and I've never driven with a short shifter before.
Okay, yeah.
So it was a bit of an adjustment. But
So how does it compare to this? Because I'll let you talk, and then I'll tell you what I think.
I'll say that this feels like it's more grounded.
Okay.
Like anytime you take a corner, you can really feel it grip on the ground, and you don't feel any lift off. I'll say with the FK8, especially depending on your tires or your wheel setup, you can feel a little bit more of that bounce, whereas this, it's just gliding across the road.
Suspension, when you said that about the bounce, it reminded me of the FD2.
Oh yeah.
As well, like that car beat me up when I drove it. Your car, I didn't feel like was as stiff as the FD2.
No, it's a little bouncy. I mean, I am on lowering springs, but if I was on coils, you'd probably feel a difference.
Yeah. To me, just like having driven the Integra Type S, that's what I'm trying to compare this to. This beats you up way worse than the Integra does. It does obviously have adaptive suspension, so we're in, what mode would you think we're in right now?
Ooh.
There's 3 modes.
Sport?
No, we're in comfort.
Comfort?
Yeah.
No way. It's so smooth.
It is. Okay, I will put it in, and we're actually on a good road for this because it is very bumpy.
Yeah.
So this is R+.
Oh yeah, now I feel it.
But it is like, it's way too stiff for most, your average
regular road.
Yeah, on the track, sure, yeah.
Oh, this would be a dream on the track. Do you have auto rev match on?
I do not. Couldn't you tell by my like 1 or 2 failed shifts?
Honestly though, I feel like it's just an extra assist, and if you're really trying to drive the car, you shouldn't have it on. Like,
I agree.
You want to learn how to drive it and what it's giving you instead of all of the extra, buttons and whistles.
I agree. I would say learn the car first, and I'll admit, if I'm in traffic sometimes, I'll put it on. But it is like buried in the menus. You have to go through like 5 menus to get to it, which I've told Acura about. I told them in the Integra Type S video. It's annoying. It's frustrating. What do you think about the way it looks? Especially, FK8 versus this, like the 2 most recent 4-door cars.
I would say if you're someone that's looking for a show car or something that really stands out on the road, go with the FK8. But if you want something that's sleek and classy looking, that honestly is a forever design, go with the FL5.
That's a good way of putting it, forever design.
Because I feel like a lot of people, especially with like the Hot Wheels builds, you know, and like comparing to like the older like Subaru WRXs, you know, like they look very sporty and they draw attention to you.
Yes.
Whereas this, it's just, I don't know.
And the wing,
classy.
it doesn't put it over the top.
No,
I don't think.
exactly. Yeah.
And okay, so you work at Honda too, and you were telling me before this that there was someone who came in to buy one of these.
They did.
And you described the person. It was not the demographic of person
It's
that
not what I was expecting. No, it was a gentleman, and he had 2 kids that were younger, and he mentioned that he wanted to take his kids road tripping in it. And honestly, it was a bit of a shock to me at first, but it's a beautiful car that will last you those long drives, and it'll be so enjoyable. It's very comfortable. You know, it's decent on gas, I'd say.
It is good on gas, even when we're pushing it. I mean, obviously there's a big discrepancy between in boost and out of boost, but it's still really good. Yeah, I mean, the big takeaway for me with the FK8 to this is exactly that. It's like, it's a car that I think will age way better.
Absolutely.
Than the FK8. Just like the DC2 is a timeless design.
It is.
It's simple, it's the right size. And even your car, of course, people in North America look at it like it's an RSX. But I still think it's a great looking car.
I'll say it's less timeless than the DC2 for sure. And a lot of people are very specific on the looks of their car, but you know what, this is just the definition of that. Timeless.
Yeah. What about the seats?
Seats are pretty cozy.
Yeah.
I mean, you feel really snug and tight in them. You don't feel like you're gonna fall out. And I mean, it is a bucket seat after all from factory, which is super nice.
I mean, we fit in these seats, but if you're, I don't know, somewhere else.
A little bit bigger, I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know, it'd be a little bit more stiff.
It would be tight. You can tell this was assembled in Japan. That's what I'm trying to say.
Like, I have SR4s in my car, and a lot of people complain about it being so tight on their bodies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And for long distances, too, I can understand why people find it uncomfortable. I love it, but, you know, to each their own.
It needs pops, though. The Type S had pops. This doesn't, I don't know.
It would really benefit from it. Just that added little extra.
Ooh, something just hit the window. This is why I brought you out. Naturally aspirated, old school Type-R, like, philosophy.
Versus the turbo.
Versus just torque, like, you know, 4,000 RPM. It's so fast for a front-wheel drive car.
Let's go.
What is your car rev to? Do you know?
Like 8.5. That's when the red line is.
Okay. All right. I mean, there it is. There's literally no more explanation needed. That's the argument.
VTEC kicks in at 5.5, and I believe the RSX is either 4.5 or 5.
Okay.
So it just gives you that little extra playtime. Yeah.
Yeah, this has VTEC too, but you don't feel it.
Not really, no. You don't feel that crossover.
No.
That
no,
everyone
at all.
loves and...
No, it's not there. This is not a good day. I've never done that before, you guys. Don't hate me. Honda, I think your windshield's okay. It took the beating. As time's gone on, it seems we've, as a whole, accepted the perceived performance gains from a coupe to largely be just an illusion, especially in the realm of EVs like the Taycan Turbo GT, just smashing lap records, right? So what's got us addicted to the idea that less doors equals more speed? The M3, for example, began life with 2 doors, but quickly, with the E36, the option for a sedan opened up, and now, if you want an M3 coupe, well, it's called an M2. The first 2 generations of the Civic Type-R were 2-door as well, but even the DC5 Integra Type-R was sold as a sedan out of the gate. So do we just sound old now, asking for a time that's long past, or is there something else to it? Coupes look better. As rational as us humans can be, what you feel when you look back at your car in a parking lot actually matters. But on top of that, a driver's car with less compromise, less layers, between you and the road beneath you is more hardcore. So even if it's all just an illusion, if the coupe has the exact same dimensions and weight as the sedan, the perception is the coupe is for the real driver. Think about it, the less people you're able to share the experience with, the more hardcore the machine. Even if the coupe still has room for 4 or 5 more people, the lack of additional doors signals to the world that's not your priority. No, you're focused on the real important stuff, driving. Today though, there's no more STI, no more Evo, no more Focus RS. So if Honda already has lap records under its belt with a Type-R sedan that appeals to a much broader audience than a 2-door coupe or hatch ever would, then what's the point? The rational part of me understands it, however the 90s kid in me just won't let it go.
I think just in general, coupes just give that more of a sporty look to it. Sedans feel more like a family car, you know, traveling and whatnot. So I don't know, I guess like the weight reduction side of it too, it helps with that.
What does your car have that even just riding shotgun for briefly, that car doesn't have? Like, is it everything? Or what is it?
Doesn't have the soul. Yeah, I think that's a big thing. It's so much more advanced than the previous generations, and what it gives off is just, it kind of separates it from the Type-R lineage of what came before it, like the EK9 Type-R and the FT2 even, you know, like it's such a different feel to it. I mean, you get thinner glass and thinner carpets, you know, it's really meant to be a race car. I know they're still trying to portray it as the next generation, or, you know, following with a few different things here and there, like the red seats for an example. It's such a statement to have in the Type-R, and the red carpets as well, but there's just something missing. It's definitely a feel difference too. I mean, if you care more about how your car drives and how you feel driving it behind the wheel, I would go NA, but if you're looking for more push, I guess, is good to have with turbo. Like anyone that is buying an FK8 or an FL5, I feel like they're buying it more for the name and just having that continuous branding follow them through. Like especially if they were huge fans when they were younger and then couldn't afford or couldn't get a DC2 or a DC5 or an FD2 at the time. And now with these coming out, they're gonna jump right onto it. But for the younger generation, especially with modifying cars and just learning the nitty-gritty stuff, I feel like a lot of, at least my generation, like I'm 22, and all of my friends drive either like 90s or really early 2000s cars, so I feel like there's a big divide there.
Any final words? Thanks for coming out. Thanks for
having me. Appreciate it. And as always, check out his YouTube channel, Roads Untraveled. Follow him on Instagram as well if you don't.
We'll plug your stuff. What are you doing?
Follow me. My Instagram's Integra. I also do photography, and I have a dance account as well, but they're all kind of connected. So yeah.
That's it, you guys. Book a shoot today.
Book a shoot.
All right, sweet.